Hey guys, episode 4 here of the Wink Weekly. Mark was slated to be our guest this week, but he had a death in the family, so he's traveling. So if everybody will wish Mark well, hope everything is okay with the family there, that they're able to, find some peace, and everybody travels safely. He is headed to Arkansas, so again, everybody wish Mark well on his way. So this week, you guys have me and Vic for the show. So first thing up, we're going to talk about, we are going to go ahead and talk about the waiver wire. There was a lot of action on the waiver wire this week, and Vic is going to take that down, and then I'll talk trades as soon as Vic gets the waiver wire wrapped up. But tell me what you like this week on the waiver wire, Vic.
All right, what I did like this week, I like Terrence taking that Ed Dixon. I don't think it was worth the high as a priority as he did, as he put in for it, but he lost Odell Beckham Jr., and he's getting hit pretty hard in the wide receiver section. Another one, we have Nick Latuke picking up Adrian Peterson, who was just traded to the Arizona Cardinals. They're the worst team in the NFL when it comes to yards per carry. Hopefully they can find that magic 2007 Adrian Peterson. And then we have myself, which I think is a great pickup, is Javorius Allen. He was dropped last week by Tiger, and I just think that Javorius Allen saw that they have over there in Baltimore. So he's going to be slotted in my lineup pretty much every week.
Good deal. We had quite a few trades this week. We had 3 trades. The first one being between Billy and Mike Green. Billy acquired Carlos Hyde, and Mike acquired DeMarco Murray. 2 big names. I think that's pretty even, swap for swap there. Additionally, we had today, we had another fairly large trade. Mike acquired Amir Abdullah and Doug Martin. He gave up Tom Brady to Tiger in that trade. I think that's a good trade for both of them, honestly. And we'll get into that a little bit more when we start talking about games and players. But Tom Brady being traded is always a big name. And then really kind of the blockbuster of the week, we had a 2-for-4 trade. V-Rod traded Mike Gillislee, Kelvin Benjamin, Larry Fitzgerald, and Hunter Henry for Devontae Freeman and Jonathan Stewart. So Vic beefed up the running back position there this week, but he had to give up quite a bit for it. That's kind of Vic's MO. He likes to go after bigger names and put more pieces in a trade for somebody to make sense of it. So I thought it was a good trade for both of you guys. But that was we had a lot of action in the waiver wire this week and a lot of action on the trade block. So that's what we've got.
We are in mid-season form, as you can see.
We are. We're rolling now, and me and Vic actually play each other this week, so that'll be fun to watch. With that, we're going to go ahead and just jump right into picks for the week. The first game we are going to do, pretty much a no-brainer. The franchise against the Genitals, me against Vic. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, to be honest with you. Vic's team is better than his record, 2-3, and my team's probably not as good as my record, 4-1, to be honest with you. So, obviously, Vic's got Devontae Freeman out there. I think as far as position, I generally look at matchups and rate them by position. I look at it and say, me versus Vic, I feel like in the running back position, I've got the leg up, or in the wide receiver position, I've got the leg up. So that's how I evaluate matchups. So when it comes to this one, I feel like wide receiver is in my favor, in my opinion, in this matchup. Running back is in Vic's favor, unless I can get something out of Jonathan Howard that would help me, or Jordan Howard, I'm sorry, quite a bit. I do like Cam. Cam's obviously been playing really well for the last couple of weeks, but I think this is going to be a close matchup. And it probably comes down, honestly, to Monday night. I got 2 guys going on Monday night, so I'll probably be trailing going into Monday, and we'll have to watch that closely and see what happens there. But what are you thinking, Vic?
I hate that you have Monday night players. It's probably one of the worst things I hate when I don't have anybody. Carson Palmer, he's going to get in his wheelchair, and he's going to get his life alert, and he's going to roll out there. Hopefully he gets his casual 15 points. Hopefully all he just needs a touchdown to make it a 20-point game.
Are you going to pick up a kicker before this weekend?
I am going to pick up a kicker. Reason why I haven't yet is I'm waiting for the news of Ezekiel Elliott. So I want to make sure I have Darren McFadden locked up. I am going to add a kicker. As soon as I knew about Zeke, last minute or anything like that, I'll probably do a little switcheroo. I'll probably drop the Chiefs defense, pick up a kicker, roll into Monday if I need one. I said I'm telling you my game plan because now you can block me, but
I wouldn't.
I can drop Darren McFadden and pick up one of those 2 kickers if they're available, as a Hail Mary if I'm down or need something. But that's my plan. I do it just like you. I match it up across the board. I look at your side and you from top to bottom. I think the only thing I probably have you at, I'd probably say Rob Gronkowski, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, if Gronk can go, I think that matchup probably leans your way unless, guys obviously don't perform or do perform. But, yeah, I'm with you. Gronk's the one that I'm way down in because my tight end position is just not very good.
So I think I might lose this game. This is one of those times when I just need luck to be that 70% of which it is in all fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's a lot more closer than what I'm projecting it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, moving on to the second game of the week, we got Mike Green against John Hodges. I always like Mike's lineup. He likes to take everybody out of the lineup and make it really hard to figure out what he's going to do. So I kind of got to go through Green's lineup and look and say, this is who I might start, and I just kind of fill out a lineup and then go.
Exact same thing.
And then I got to go, okay, I like this lineup better than what Hodges has got. I do like Green to win this week. Hodges' team, he just kind of limping a little bit this week, in my opinion. He's got Julio on the bench. I expect him to put him in the lineup. Matt Ryan, he needs Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan's playing Miami this week. So I think that Hodges is going to get something out of Matt Ryan for the week, but I am still going to go with Mike Green. Deshaun Watson's been really hot, so I feel like that's what he's kind of rolling out with trading away Tom Brady. So he's going to roll with Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, from here on out, which is a gamble, but hey, it could be a really, really good gamble if it pays off. So I'm rolling with Green this week. What do you got, Vic?
I'm right there with you, and this is the lineup. Hopefully, just an NXT advantage for him, but I have him starting Watson at quarterback, Martin at running back. He traded for him, so I'm sure he's going to put him in the lineup. And then I have a mix between Ajayi, Murray, and Abdullah. One of those, or 2 of those 3 is going to be in his lineup, one of them in the flex. And then I have Landry and Fuller. Fuller going against Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then he has Boswell as kicker, and he has no DST, which I imagine he's going to pick one up. And when I put up the numbers side by side, like we talked about earlier, had John with a lot more better players, or actually matchups, not players. But talent's going to take overall in this game. That's why I have Green winning this one.
To be honest with you, I think in that game, I would probably go with Hodges if Houston wasn't playing Cleveland. I wouldn't think he would get anything out of Fuller unless they're playing Cleveland, and I really think Deshaun Watson's going to put up another 30 points against Cleveland. So I just think Green's going to have too much out of Houston, honestly, which is crazy to say, but I think he's going to get too much out of Houston for Hodges to have a chance in that game.
I mean, and for John to pull it out, he's going to need Julio, like he did for me last year, had that 30-point game. He won the game for me single-handedly. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if John won, but just the matchup, like you said, Houston versus Cleveland.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you there. All right, third matchup that we've got for the week, we've got Joe Tigert against Chris Powell. It hurts so good against the Switzer Sweets. Vic, I'm going to let you start out and tell us what you think about this matchup.
All right. Every year Tiger does it. He'll start off good. He'll trade something away, and then it all goes downhill. I don't know why he does it.
Right.
He always does it every year. It's that time. All right, so he acquired Brady, and I think Big Day CJ going against the Giants. They're hurting on the defensive side, so that's what I had the nickname for him.
So does that trade, do you think that trade helps Tigert have some sustainability and gets him through more time in the season, winning some games?
Well, with me, I went and looked at every week. I put out the percentages of making the playoffs, and actually that trade between him and Mike decreased their chances. Not a lot, but it
both of their chances.
Both of their chances, it did. So it was kind of like they're probably better off with playing each other. It's just that mid-season, and they just want something different, basically.
Right.
Want that new marriage. And then I don't see Nelson being affected this week, and I don't see Thomas being affected this week. Detroit, they've been pretty good in the secondary, and then Hurts, I imagine Kuechly's going to be on him. So I have Chris actually winning this game. I like Cousins. Cooks will be cooking against the Jets. And then most of the time, your running backs, they get 10-plus points, you're going to win the game. And I think both of his running backs going to get 15-plus. So.
Yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon. Last week, Melvin Gordon did, 28 points? I mean,
he did.
Unbelievable. I'm with you. I have Chris winning this game, too. Kirk Cousins against San Francisco. I think he's going to perform well. Tom Brady's against the Jets, though. I mean, this is a close game for me. But I do have Chris winning this game. It'd go a long way if Tiger could figure out how to pull out this win or get some help from Chris. But like I said, Tom Brady's got the Jets, so I mean, we've seen Tom Brady throw 7 touchdowns in a week. It could be a week against the Jets. You never really know. But I do have Chris pulling that matchup out as well. Next up, we've got Mark Woods against Jaron Brewer. Mark Woods, straight cash homie. He has been straight cash homie all year. And I've got him. I mean, I got him again. Jaron's on a down year, which is unusual for Jaron. Jaron's usually one of those guys that you hate to play. But this year, Jaron, he really hadn't. He just hadn't got a lot out of all those guys that he's got rolling out there. Mike Evans, to me, has underperformed to this point. I don't think that's going to continue to be the case, particularly in the last half of the season with Mike Evans. But I think Jameis Winston, Mike Evans gets enough done there. And I am going to be interested to see if Mark actually rolls out both the Minnesota running backs this week in his starting lineup.
Yeah, actually in my notes, I know Mark's supposed to be our guest, but I don't know if you can see it, but I put under Jaron's team, no need to discuss. Mark's just a better team.
Yep.
Jaron should trade away Breeze, wink, wink. You know, Jaron's team was special. He had that number 1 pick. He had the prize egg, David Johnson. You know what? Mark is rising in the ranks, and he's coming to collect. So I have Mark winning this game single-handedly. There's no question about it.
Well, there you go. We got the Easter Bunny on the show this week, I guess. I would be interested in a trade with Jaron. This is a personal plug here for David Johnson. If I can make the playoffs, I have no fear in starting David Johnson from week 13, 14, 15. I got zero worries about that. So Jaron might be able to get himself back in that if he would be willing to trade away David Johnson. Just a thought.
That's a nice plug. It's just his wrist on his non-carrying hand. Man, he can really do it.
Yeah.
You just got to loosen up a little bit.
He's got to get the Baby J involved to be willing to trade him. So, our fifth matchup of the week, we've got Nick Latouf against Cody Powell, Magnifipunt against Fourth Down Firepower. I have completely gone on record to tell you that I love Cody Powell's team almost all year long. I think I've picked every game of his correct. I think I picked all 4 of his wins, and I picked his 1 loss. So we're going to make this number 6. I am taking Cody to go 5-1. Nick's got a good team. I mean, he's not a 1-4 fantasy football team, in my opinion, at least. And this is going to be another one of those weeks. He's going to run into Cody Powell, and Cody has got Todd Gurley rolling out there. It is going to be a little bit of what's he going to do for quarterback, because he's got to have something out of Ben Roethlisberger. He can't take 5 picks and win it. But I think if he rolled out Roethlisberger, I don't think he's going to get that again out of him. And then he'll have that 1-2 punch. He'll have Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown hooking up, Todd Gurley, Christian McCaffrey. I just think Cody's got too much this week for Nick. What do you got, Vic?
Here I am picking against Cody. I'm gonna pick Nick, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Aaron Rodgers is in a dome. He'll play with them. I know it's in Minnesota, but I feel like he's pretty much figured out the NFL. And then you got Gillislee going against the Jets. Last year, Blunt had 3 rushing touchdowns against the Jets. I could be wrong. Could have been 1 receiving. And he's got the AC joint. We're seeing it last week, actually. He only put up 10 points. It's his non-throwing shoulder, but he's going to do some quick passes and a lot of handoff. So I think Gillislee, and that was a big trade for Nick this week. And Fitzgerald, I say he's roughly about 4 inches taller than every defensive back that they have in Tampa Bay. And Palmer's on pace to break Stafford's record of throwing over 720 something plus passes. So I think Fitzgerald's going to be on the end of a couple of those. And then Ingram's the only thing they have in New York. So even though it's against Denver. And then for Cody, I think this is the train where Gurley starts going on decline. He could still fall in the end zone. And Brown, he's only had one touchdown all year, even though he's averaging 12 points a game, which I think that's pretty awesome. So I imagine he's going to get some touchdowns here. And then you have Kansas City. I know Brown's going against them, but they have Kansas City Chiefs have allowed the 7th most yards allowed to opposing passing offenses. So that's why I might be dropping them this week. And then Kelsey, concussion protocol. I haven't heard anything on that. I haven't checked in on it, but I'm sure I'll reach out to the doctors.
Yeah. Well, on to the game of the week, game number 6 for the week. We've got the Hood Rats, Billy Luna's team against, in case you missed it, greatest of all time, Mr. Terrence Ganaway. Neither of these guys, honestly, are kind of in the mix yet on their divisions, but they have got a close matchup this week, in my opinion. It was a close one, too, between that and Tigert and Chris's game. Both of those games we think are going to be really close. But just to kind of go a little bit more in depth on game of the week, I like both of these guys in the matchups. I think that they are both relatively comparable all the way through. When you look at Phillip Rivers versus Alex Smith, neither one of those guys are going to light the world on fire. But in my opinion, I think I got Alex Smith pulling that out a little bit. For Billy, Le'Veon Bell, Carlos Hyde, DeAndre Hopkins, his weak link there is Pierre Garçon. I think Terrence just has a stronger team this week. I do have Terrence pulling out this matchup. He's got a lot of guys on bye, but I think it kind of hit for him at the right time, in my opinion. So I got Terrence pulling it out against Billy. For me, Billy's got a chance there if he can get some points out of the kind of the bottom half of the lineup, the tight end, the flex position. I think he's going to get plenty of points out of the top of it, but the bottom of it gets a little bit weak, in my opinion, weaker than what Terrence has got. So I got Terrence winning that matchup. What do you think, Vic?
Well, I'm looking at it, and I'm just right there with you. It's pretty even. That's why it's the game of the week, obviously. If you look at Billy's side, nearly half his matchups are away games, and Terrence, all his games are actually home games, except for the tight end in the flex position and his kicker. And that's why I'm going to go with Terrence in this game. And it's because what happened in New Orleans this week, Mark Ingram, they put all their chips in his and Kamaro's basket, and Mark Ingram's going to lead the way until he gets injured at some point this year. And Leonard Fournette is the only running back to ever score in every game, including the preseasons, to start off his career. So, and I think Stephon Diggs, he's dealing with a hamstring injury, but I think he'll get that back. But I have Terrence winning. It's going to be close. I project both of these teams to be in the mid-80s. And then I look over at Billy's team, Le'Veon Bell. I feel like Kansas City's just going to corral him up. I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. It's a lot of chaos over there. And Phillip Rivers, I think he'll get back on track again. He only had one bad game, actually, if you think about it, in his very first game. And then I just don't like Jared Cook all that much. I don't know if it has to do with last year's Dallas game or anything, but I just don't like Jared Cook and Robbie Anderson going against New England. They have some solid defensive backs there, even though they've given up a lot of passing yards.
Well, there you got it, again, folks. Game of the week. Me and Vic both got Terrence winning that game. Vic, what were you saying earlier to me that the record for picks wasn't mine pretty outstanding?
It is. It's 15-1. And the only one that won is when you picked yourself.
Oh, there you go. So if I picked you this week, you should feel pretty good about it, right?
Pretty good.
Me and Vic, for the most part, we kind of lined up for the week. We really only had the disagreements there between Nick and Cody's game. So for the most part, we got a consensus week. But that's going to wrap up week 4 again. Everybody send your well wishes to Mark traveling. Hope everything is okay with the family there and everybody else, Mark. Anything we can do for you, please let us know. But we'll see you guys again next week, and we will do our best to get a guest on with us. But as always, submit what you think, what you like, and what you don't like. And we appreciate you guys watching along with us.
See y'all next week.
See y'all next week.